nice to meet you.
Welcome, friends, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a night here at Temple Israel in Westport. So many members of our congregation here, so many friends from Central Synagogue. Thank you so much for braving the rain and the traffic to get up here from New York City. And we know that there are many others who wanted to be here in person, but for one reason or another could not be here in person, but you are with us via our live stream. We're so glad that you're here celebrating Shabbat from home or the office or wherever you might be. We have a ton of friends, clergy friends, family here tonight, but first an introduction of our own home clergy team. We are all here for Cantor Julia Cadrain on this evening. And we're very pleased also to have Rabbi Zach Pleasant, Rabbi Ilana Nematov Bressler. I'm Rabbi Michael Friedman. We have our musicians, Mike and Yusuf, and thank you to Sean and Chris, to Brian and Stephanie and Judy and everybody, and Rob and everybody else who's part of the Temple Israel team who are here tonight as well. To get the night started, we want to invite our president, John Kaufman, to share a few words.
And thank you for the musical interlude. I appreciate that. It's my boarding music. First of all, I'm glad to hear that there are actually people who still live in New York City. I thought people had actually all moved to Connecticut. I didn't realize that, but that's nice to hear there are still folks there. So anyway, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Temple Israel, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone joining us this evening, especially the family and friends of Cantor Cadrain, and of course, a hearty mazel tov to Cantor Cadrain on this most auspicious occasion for her, and in fact, for our entire Temple Israel community. Cantor Cadrain joined us nearly a year ago, and it's hard to imagine our synagogue without her as a part of it. But truthfully, it feels like it took a matter of just minutes for her to connect in such a meaningful way with her congregants. Her depth of caring, approachability, and truly authentic neshama, soul, has made her a magnetic presence in all of our lives. And that's not even considering her inspirational and world-class cantorial skills. I remember last summer, I think we've talked about this, sitting on my patio in my old house on a Zoom call one Friday afternoon just through the woods from the synagogue, hearing what I can only describe as the voice of an angel. Honestly, for a minute, I thought I was dying or dead, except I was unfortunately still very much on a Zoom call in this world. It turned out that voice was Cantor Cadrain, preparing for her first Shabbat under the stars. That voice is just magical. She truly uplifts us all with the resonance of her music and the light of her being. And I mean that. We are beyond grateful and just so fortunate that Cantor Cadrain and her family have chosen to become a part of our Temple Israel family, and that we can all celebrate that choice together tonight and throughout this wonderful weekend. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And now I'd like to invite Cantor Cadrain's family up to light the Shabbat candles for this evening. Her wife Alana and daughter Maya, her mother Diane, her dad Joe, her sister Leah and Leah's wife Lindsay, and her sister Lucia and Lucia's partner Nate.
Shut up. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Cantor, so beautiful to see your family there with you, with all of us on the Bima. Friends, for Kabbalat Shabbat, we are so thrilled to welcome a number of wonderful clergy and other folks who are so important to Cantor Cadrain up to the Bima. They'll come one at a time, and we'll sort of sing through all of Kabbalat Shabbat. First, Lechu Neranana on page 130, then page 131, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, then Lecha Dodi on pages 138 and 139, and then on page 140, Mizmor Shir. We'll tell you the page numbers as we go. You don't have to. We'll tell you the
You can
right.
say the right ones.
We'll tell you
I'll
the
say the
right
wrong.
page numbers. More importantly, we want to introduce those who will be joining us here on the Bima. First, it will be Julia's wife, Ilana Arian, who is already here. Then we're so pleased to have with us Rabbi Angela Warnick-Bookdahl, and then it'll be Rabbi Ari Lorge, and then it'll be Julia's mother-in-law and a wonderful musician and teacher in her own right, Mary Arian. We'll begin together on page 130.
Let us sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God a new song. Ya la, ya la, ya la, 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 la. Ya la, ya la, ya la, la. Ya la, ya la, ya la, 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 la. Ya la, ya la, ya la, la. Ya la, ya la, ya la, la. Sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God. Sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God. Sing unto God a new song. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Page 131.
Cadrain, you've already taught this congregation to really sing. It's such a joy
good
to
at
be
it.
hearing the sound, the surround sound. Let us sing a new song.
Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai, kol ha'aretz. Shiru l'Adonai, baruch hu shemo, basu miyom le'yom Yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo,
Lecha Dodi is on page 138 and 139. The page is different, but I still know we're going to sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
This is why I get the page wrong. Every week I get the page wrong. This is why, because we came from a different
I realized I had to
page
double check
system.
all of a sudden. We're going to, on the 9th verse, rise and face the entrance of the sanctuary. I want us on this night especially, though, to look at one section of the text in particular. I think one of Cantor Cadrain's many great gifts is that she enables people in big and small ways to all realize that they're instruments of God and that they have gifts to share. So tonight, as we mark this occasion for your congregation, I want to lift up the 5th verse that we'll sing together. I think it speaks of her spirit and the Torah she teaches. Awake, awake, for your light has come. Rise up and let it shine. Arise, arise, and break out in song. God's glory is revealed through you. Let's sing together. Oop.
I thought it sounded a
different,
little
too.
low. It's different, yeah.
That one, we like that one too.
Yeah, that's also good. Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha ishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tziferet v'litila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat l'kabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat l'kabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha ki hi mekor ha'bracha Merosh mikeden nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshavah techila lecha dodi Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat l'kabela lecha dodi Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat l'kabela Hitorari, hitorari, ki ba'arech u'mi'ori. Uri, uri, shildaveri, kevor Adonai, alayich nigla lecha dodi. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat l'kabela lecha dodi Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat l'kabela Boi v'shalom al teret ba'alav Gam besimcha u'b'tolah Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Boi chala
I hope you can all tell how much fun this is for all of us up here.
Way too much fun.
No, not
Just-
even yet. No, just getting
We're
started.
just getting started.
Page 140.
I have to say, I've never been introduced to someone's mother-in-law before. But we actually met way before then at the Debbie Freeman School of Sacred Music.
Yes, we did.
And if we were unclear of the entrance of Shabbat, she is here. I can hear it, and I can see it in everyone's faces. Mizmor Shir Yom Shabbat. Let us sing this song, this psalm of Shabbat.
Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך עליון. ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך. ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך. ואמונתך בלילות. יאללה לילה לילה יאללה לילה לילה יאללה לילה לילה יאללה לילה יאללה לילה מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך עליון. ולזמר לשמך עליון.
We remain standing and feel this energy that's in the room. Don't lose it. And we bring all of that energy with us as we turn to page 146 for Baruch.
Baruch hu et Adonai ha-mevorach. Baruch Adonai ha-mevorach le'olam va'ed.
We know that Shema is a prayer about listening, to understand and appreciate the oneness of God. And one of the ways we know God in our liturgy is Habocher b'shirei zimra, one who chooses to delight in song. And there is nobody I know that embodies that idea better than you, Cantor Julia Cadrain. When she sings, we delight. And she is delighted to be singing with us. Cantor and I have often commented at the end of a particularly long Friday as we begin to rehearse for a Shabbat service just how restorative music and song can be. Cantor, may you always choose to delight in song, and as you do, may you help us do so as well, so we can each better hear our songs and God's song. Page 152.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'ktavtam amezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'olechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Freedom for a woman to choose was threatened to be taken away from millions of Americans this week. Reform Judaism has supported the right to choose, and we will continue to advocate for the freedom of every woman to decide what she wants to do for her own body. Mi Chamocha is a reminder that we have not always been free. And tonight, we sing it and recognize that freedoms can be taken away oh so easily. As we sing tonight, we sing with hope that this and many freedoms continue to be rights for all. Page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh norah tehilot oseh Oseh Shalom Malchutecha Ra'uvanecha Kokei Hayam Lifnei Miriam Ze'eli Anu Ve'amru Ze'eli Anu Ve'amru Adonai Yimlo Le'olam va'ed Adonai Yimlo Le'olam va'ed.
We turn to Hashkivenu on page 160, our prayer asking for God's protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim, lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim, lechaim. Ufros aleinu. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, v'taknenu be'etzah tova milfanecha, v'hoshienu leman shemecha. Amen. We sing Amen. 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 Amen.
When Cantor Cadrain started at Temple Israel, she suggested we sit in silence for 2 minutes at the beginning of our Wednesday clergy meeting. And if you know me, I don't sit in silence very often. Those first 2 minutes were immensely uncomfortable because I was so unused to it. What Cantor Cadrain has taught me is that silence can be both loud and powerful. Yet, as we made it a part of our regular clergy team practice, I find it helped me focus, become more grounded and more present in the rest of the day. Cantor, you help each of us find that moment to sit quietly, to tune into ourselves and honor what we each need individually, to ask ourselves those really important questions that we need time to ask. Tonight, we are going to build on that gift, that quiet with a quiet Amidah. This is your opportunity, friends, to sit or stand in quiet, to pray in the way that you need this evening. Maybe that's using the words in this prayer book from pages 164 or 180, or maybe it's not. Maybe you need a few minutes of quiet. Whatever you need tonight, we'll take the time for it. We will continue on page 164 with a request to God to open our lips. And again, please sit or stand as you want, as you need this evening.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi avi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Oseh Shalom Bimromav.
Hu yaseh, hu yaseh, hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh, hu yaseh, hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh, hu yaseh, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu.
May the one who brings peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Hu yaseh, hu yaseh, hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh, hu yaseh, hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh, hu yaseh, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Thank you so much to Lulu Mann, Shay Frimmer, Aubrey Ben Moshe. We love you guys.
Wow. The energy, the spirit, the feeling in this community is special right now. To see our teens singing with our cantor, feeling the energy from all of you in this sanctuary is just special. And for me, being in community like this, with energy like this that is so palpable, with support and love like this, has always felt healing to me. So as we turn now to our moment of Shebeirach, our moment of healing, let's harness that energy and send that love and support to all who might need it in our community. If there's anybody that you want to name out loud that we can bring into our community, please do so as I move around the room. And those who have been made known to our community include Israel Avraham Ben Chia Rachel, Marlene Blumenthal, James Bruni, Frida Easton, Steve Elliott, Jackie Fuchs, Roy Fuchs, Lanny Gans, Skylar Grossberg, John Hall, Jeff Helfand, David Hidalgo, Peter Hort, Natalie Kellner, Phyllis Kamansky, Mark Krigsman, Don Matthews, Tammy Molman, Barbara Nash, Ruth Ocean, Alton Parati, Francine Plaza, Carol Randell, Dorothy Reynolds, Robbie Regano, Cantor Richard Silverman, Kathy Soroka, Esther Stone, Karen Sugarman, Sandy Troy, Yocheved Sarah Bat Etel, and those injured this week in the Elad terror attack. For those names we've said out loud and those names we hold in our heart, this prayer on page 371 is for them all. Mi Shebeirach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi Shebeirach Imoteinu Mikor HaBracha Lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Friends, on our search committee, many of whom are here this evening, set out to bring our next cantor to Temple Israel. We had, as you might imagine, the very highest of hopes and dreams. Of course, we wanted someone who would bring the very best of Jewish music, music that would help us celebrate and help us heal, music that would bring us warmth and comfort, music that would define our community, music that would inspire wonder and awe and hope. We are so very grateful that we brought to Temple Israel Cantor Julia Cadrain, who, in the perfectly appropriate words of our congregant Susan Greisman, who's, I know, watching via the live stream right now, is uniquely and miraculously inspiring. And truly, if that was the sum total of what Cantor Julia Cadrain brought to our congregation, Dayenu. We are so very fortunate because God not only brought us a cantor who could do all of that I just described. God brought us a cantor who is at the very forefront of what Jewish worship will look like in the 21st century. Tonight is a perfect example. And if that wasn't enough, God brought us a cantor who is thoughtful and compassionate, who brings intentionality, and who especially brings love to every single interaction. And if that wasn't enough, God brought us a cantor who is my true partner in visioning, in creating, in pastoring, in leading our congregation. And if that wasn't enough, God brought us a cantor whose divine spark shines so very bright. So bright that she lights up our entire congregation and nurtures the fire in each of our souls. Julia, there's no question that you are already impacting and shaping our congregation, even through a year of worship in tents, with masks, via Zoom, through Delta and Omicron and whatever this is called that we're living through right now. And my prayer for you on this very special evening is that every day, not just on nights like tonight, every day, Temple Israel may be for you a place where you eternally explore the boundaries of what it means to lead a congregation in prayer. The Temple Israel is for you a place where you are able to be your fullest musical mensch self. And a place where you are every day able to be a Jewish soul full of love and hope and joy. And I pray too, Cantor, that you are able to unleash that spark within you. Because it's very special, that spark. My wish is that you set this place on fire with your creativity and your love. My wish is that you soar and that you take all of us along for the ride. So friends, let's see what magic we can make together. And now I am very honored to invite our rabbi and our cantor and our teacher and our friend, Angela Warnick-Buchdahl, to the bima.
Just want to start by saying it is so nice to be back in Westport. You probably don't know, but when we had the lockdown in March of 2020, I hunkered down with my family in a house just a mile up the street on North Avenue for what I thought was going to be a couple of weeks, but it ended up being 10 months. And we loved Campo Beach. We went blueberry picking in Aspetuck. I taught my 3 children to drive in the Staples parking lot. It took moving to the suburbs to make my 20-year-old realize he did actually need to learn to drive. And I got to do some really fun social distance hanging out with Michael and Haley and their kids. It's safe to say my family fell in love with Westport. So when Julia said this was a possibility, this community, I thought, oh, that is perfect. This place is so incredible. So I'm really happy to be back here and for this occasion. As we know, we planned this for a long time ago, but you know, the pandemic has come in and changed things. But I think things are meant to be this way because now it's been almost a year that you've had Cantor Cadrain here. And so this congregation really knows what you're getting, which is so special. It's also perfect because this week, at least in some communities, we are reading Parshat Kedoshim, which is just perfect for Julia's installation. Kedoshim, otherwise known as the Holiness Code, is the center Torah portion of the book of Leviticus. And Leviticus is the center book of the 5 books of the Torah. And right in the center of Kedoshim, this Torah portion is the line, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. So what is it, the exact center of our entire Torah? Why love? Of course. You've probably heard the story from the Talmud of the cynic who approaches Rabbi Shammai, a great rabbi of the 1st century, and asks him to teach him all that he needs to know about Judaism while he's standing on one foot. And Shammai is so offended, he takes a ruler and he hits him and he shoos him away. The potential convert asks the same question of Rabbi Hillel. Teach me the essence of Judaism while standing on one foot. And Hillel responds with love. What is hateful to you, do not do to others. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. The cynic promptly converts, and the golden rule is born. But the line in this Torah portion of Kedoshim at the center of the Torah holds an even higher standard. Not only are we not supposed to do what is hateful to someone else, we have to actually actively love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Love is at the very heart of it all, this entire tradition of ours. And do you know who has been my great teacher in this regard? your new cantor, Cantor Julia Cadrain, because Julia is animated by love. She became a cantor out of her great love for music. She had a remarkable instrument from a young age. Is that correct, Diane and Joe? Probably singing all the time, refined with the finest training from the New England Conservatory of Music. Julia could have been on Broadway or American Idol, but she felt there was a higher purpose for her gifts. Her voice was not just there to entertain and dazzle, although she can do that, but to elevate and sanctify and connect. Julia's song is love. Julia's introduction to Central Synagogue a decade ago came at the high holidays. She walked onto what we had converted into a bima, the stage of Avery Fisher Hall. That Lincoln Center bima could really swallow you up. But she came out, small in stature, big in presence, planted her feet, opened her mouth, and sang this Avinu Malkeinu that filled the sanctuary and vibrated all of our souls. It was not just the magnificence of her voice. She is a true Shlichat Tzibor. She was our messenger, carrying the aspirations of our entire congregation to the heavens. Julia's prayer is love. While she was at Central, running our B'nai Mitzvah program, she had the most incredible patience and attention for our students, which is saying a lot for 13-year-old teenagers. And maybe even more so with our adults, whose B'nai Mitzvah she also shepherded. No offense, Laura, I know you are not at all a problem. Okay. With each student, she saw what made them sparkle. She brought out their light and made them feel accomplished and special and seen. Because Julia's teaching is love. I remember when a congregant sister died, she reached out to Julia first. And it wasn't just that she wanted Julia to sing at the funeral, because music was such a point of connection for her. It was because she identified with and admired Julia's courage and her authenticity. This took place early on in the pandemic, but even through a Zoom screen, Julia brought comfort and grace. Julia's healing is love. I urge you to continue to get to know Julia. Her gifts are obviously not just in music and song, but the depth that she brings to every lesson, what she teaches and what she preaches. And of course, one of the greatest gifts that she brings to this community is her family. Beautiful Maya and Acadia, and the music she makes with her talented wife and partner in all things, Alana Arian. Julia's family is love. You are so fortunate that you not only have a tremendously gifted and talented cantor, you have a spiritual leader who embodies the very heart of our tradition. But I probably don't even need to tell you these things, because we're a year in now, and you've already experienced it. What I can promise you is it only gets better and better. You've brought Cantor Cadrain onto a team that is already exceptional. And I happen to know that firsthand because I've actually been blessed to work with both Rabbi Michael Friedman and Rabbi Zach Pleasant. My daughter had Rabbi Ellen as her boss for one summer when she was tutoring B'nai Mitzvah kids as well. Julia, you are having a visionary, ambitious, joyful team here in Westport, and you are so lucky to have this inspiring team. And of course, Julie is surrounded by a larger village of clergy who love and support her, many of whom are actually here tonight. And in a few moments, I'd like to invite up, or Rabbi Michael Friedman will invite up all the clergy to join this congregation in blessing Cantor Cadrain as she officially takes her position as the senior cantor of this sacred congregation. Before I do that, just a word about how we will bless. As I said, this Parshat Kedoshim, this Shabbat, is all about holiness, the holiness that is encapsulated by love for others. Every one of us is called to be holy because God is holy. Julia, you manifest that holiness in your actions, your voice, your eyes, your very being. Because you've taught me that sometimes expressing things is best done when we feel it fully in our bodies, we are going to offer an embodied blessing today. All of us. Yes, I'm going to invite all of you to move. It's not that scary, and you don't have to participate if you don't want to. You still can be the boss of you, but I hope you will. But I'd like to invite up my colleagues, Rabbi Ari Lorge, Cantor Shana DeLoe, your senior Rabbi Michael Friedman, and Alana Arian to help us offer a blessing, an embodied blessing for Cantor Cadrain with a movement that will accompany each of these blessings. But we're going to do this all together. Oh, wait, I was actually thinking we do the 4 first, and then, so come on over here. So we're going to...
I jumped the gun.
No,
Put
just
Julia in
because
the
of the
middle.
microphone.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So I actually, I'm going to give you a hug first. I'd love to invite the whole congregation to please rise. So Cantor Cadrain, you embody holiness. When you lift up the hopes, the fears, the dreams of your community on the wings of your voice. So I invite you to try doing with me. Take this and take everyone's hopes, fears, and dreams. Can you take them all in with your hand? And then offer them up on the wings of her voice. Oh, that was so beautiful. Do that one more time. Take the hopes and dreams and offer them up on the wings of her voice. Oh, so nice.
So Cantor Cadrain, we see you. Cantor Cadrain, we see you embody holiness in the way that you empower and enable everybody to love the totality of who they are and be unabashedly themselves. So we're going to reach down to where we keep the secret things that we don't like to show people or the silliness that we keep inside. We're going to let it out and up. Let's do it one more time. Reach into who you are. Let it out.
Oh, you all look beautiful.
Julia, my dear friend, you embody holiness in the way that you approach each and every person with open mind and an open heart. And so in American Sign Language, this would be this: open mind and open heart. It's beautiful. One more time. Open mind, open heart.
And Cantor, as I mentioned, you help us all be holy. Kedoshim to you, when you enable that divine spark to shine in this world. And that match, that flame, brightens all of us. So we're going to do exactly that, a very Jewish motion of striking a match and let the flame flicker. Strike a match, let the flame flicker.
So the Holiness Code, there's a soundtrack for that. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. And it already has built-in movements. Can we try that? Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. So we're going to sing this holiness song set to the most beautiful melody by Alana Arian. I think this community already knows it. And so we're going to do that dance. We're going to include all 4 of the blessings. Just follow us and we'll bless together.
And before we do, we want to invite all of the clergy who are here to come forward and join us here at the top step of the Bima. So Rabbi Rami Arian, Cantor Richard Cohn, Cantor Danielle Rodnitsky, Jenna Mark, who will be ordained as a cantor in like 2 days. Amazing. Cantor Michelle Rubel, Rabbi Nicole Auerbach, and Janet Walton. Come up, join us, please. And
ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Kadosh, 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 Kadosh. Adonai tzeva melo kol haaretz, melo kol kevodo, kevodo. Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאיך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מה אדיר שמך בכל הארץ קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה
I'd like to invite everyone to remain standing and for the clergy on the bima to just turn and face our ark so that our own Temple Israel clergy team might bring Cantor Cadrain forward for a blessing at this moment.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God always keep you safe.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's light always shine through you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
Can you hear it, son?
Can you hear Ratzon? Cantor, may you always enjoy, find, feel peace in your heart, in your home, in this congregation, in our world. May it be so.
Amen.
That was amazing. It just so happens, through some combination of thoughtful planning and divine intervention, that this week's Torah portion, Kiddushim, contains one of my favorite verses of all time. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. We know it well now. Love your neighbor as yourself. Rabbi Akiva teaches that love your neighbor as yourself is the greatest principle in the entire Torah. Rabbi Akiva, I agree. If I had to distill down our whole tradition to a single teaching, it would be this: we are commanded to love God, to love the stranger, to love our neighbor, and yes, to love ourselves. Why do we need to include ourselves on this list? My teacher at the Institute for Jewish Spirituality, Rabbi Jonathan Slater, offered an interpretation that blew open my understanding of this verse. We often focus on the love your neighbor part, which is a frequently quoted and timeless notion both within and beyond Jewish tradition. Sometimes, though, we need a little guidance as to how to live that value. We want to love our neighbor, but how? Rabbi Slater helped me to understand that as yourself is the answer to that question. How do we love our neighbors? We love our neighbors as we love ourselves. In other words, cultivating a loving and accepting relationship with ourselves creates a path for us to love someone else. Now, I know that for some of us, the very phrase self-love might elicit anything from mild discomfort to an emphatic eye roll. I see you. I ask you to bear with me. I'm not talking about some new age woo-woo idea of self-love as a life hack for happiness. Rather, this is the ancient wisdom of our sages. What would it be like if we actually loved like that? Loving and accepting ourselves can be harder than we admit. It's easier to focus on our every flaw, misstep, and deficit. We're really good at beating ourselves up. But the discipline of self-forgiveness and kindness, of taking a harder look at what we uniquely can offer, can help us, leads us to love others. It also reminds us that we are each worthy of dreaming and imagining a life for ourselves that is different from the one that we have now. It inspires us to ask the essential question, what can I offer to make the world brighter, to connect a little more with the stranger next door and across the ocean? I grew up in West Hartford, Connecticut, in a home that taught me to believe in my own potential. Through the love and encouragement of my family, I fell in love with music as an expressive and uniting language. I want to thank my parents, Diane and Joe, and my sisters, Leah and Lucia, for creating an environment that encouraged me to seek, dare, and create, and for being my first and forever community. I actually can't remember a time that I didn't love to sing. That love led me to study at New England Conservatory, earning a bachelor's of music with the master plan of using my classical training to become a Broadway star. But quickly I realized two things. One, I'm 5 feet tall and can't dance to save my life. And two, the unpredictable and rejection-riddled life of a performer is not for me. What did I have to offer to make the world brighter and a little more whole? Growing up in an interfaith home, my religious upbringing had elements of both my dad's Jewish background and my mom's Catholic one. While I had some Jewish knowledge, I had never seen a cantor in action before. The fall after I graduated college, I attended a High Holy Day service for the very first time. Sitting in the congregation, watching the cantor lead us in prayer, I began to hear the whispers of a new life. Pay attention to this feeling, it said. With the urgency of someone newly in love, I learned about what it meant to be a cantor and what it would take to become one. I was on fire and determined. I learned the Aleph Bet from scratch and studied hard to fill the gaps in my Jewish knowledge. 2 years later, I boarded a plane to Jerusalem to begin cantorial school. During my subsequent 5 years of study at Hebrew Union College, I was blessed to learn from many wise and inspiring teachers. One of my favorites was Mary Lovinger-Arian, who now happens to be my mother-in-law, but at the time was simply my beloved teacher and nurturing supporter. Thank you, Mary, for being a constant source of warmth and guidance. After 5 years at HUC, I was ordained as a cantor and accepted my fantasy job as assistant cantor of Central Synagogue. Central introduced me to many wonderful colleagues, including our own Rabbi Michael Friedman and Rabbi Ari Lorge, my soul brother in humor, prayer, and all things Sondheim. Thank you, Ari, for your friendship, inspiration, and patience, and for being willing to share your beautiful guitar playing with our TI community tonight. Central was also the place I was mentored by Rabbi Peter Rubenstein, a star in the Jewish firmament and in my heart forever. And I became forever connected and indebted to Rabbi Cantor Angela Buchdahl, who took a chance on me as her assistant cantor when I was a terrified 20-something wearing too much purple eyeshadow. Thank you, Angela, for showing me what it means to lead with grace, love, and soaring song. You have profoundly shaped me into the cantor I am today, and I am so grateful to share this night with you. My time at Central was formative and full of blessing. After 9 wonderful years, I got an unexpected opportunity to guide in a different way. Along came my old friend, Rabbi Michael Friedman, and a very special congregation, Temple Israel. In the height of a global pandemic, over countless hours of phone calls and Zoom meetings from my little Brooklyn apartment, I got to know the search committee. Its chairs, Gary Shanzer and Tammy Jersey, quickly became my friends and teachers. I want to thank Tammy, Gary, and the entire search committee for your tireless dedication to a thorough and thoughtful search process, and for giving me some of my first tastes of Temple Israel magic. One of the sweetest aspects of joining the TI community has been reconnecting with our senior rabbi and supermensch, Michael Friedman. I don't have to tell you what a kind, generous, and supportive leader Rabbi Friedman is. Michael, I am so grateful for the partnership of trust, mutual respect, and appreciation that we are building together. Thank you for welcoming me, for teaching me, and for giving me space to create. I'm grateful to my wonderful clergy colleagues, Rabbi Zach Pleasant and Ilana Nemitov-Bressler, for your friendship and partnership. To Brian Bierman, our mensch of an executive director who has so many talents I've lost count. I probably don't even know them all. You'll tell me later, Brian. To one of the newest members of our team, our Director of Programming and Member Engagement, Stephanie Schwartz, for your friendship and for taking care of so many details for tonight. And to our entire senior staff and staff team for surrounding me with support and strength. Thank you to this beautiful band, our accompanist Mike Lantowski, our bassist Mike Kennan, our percussionist Yusuf Sharanik, and to our AV team Eric Franklin, Chris Florin, and Sean Nielsen, who help us to share our message of hope and unity both within and beyond our sanctuary walls. Thank you, this beautiful congregation, our esteemed board of trustees, our insightful president John Kaufman, and every single one of you with us tonight, both in the room and on the live stream. You have embraced me with open arms, under your masks, through your screens, and tonight in 3 dimensions. I am so grateful, and I can't wait to see what we create together. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Alana Arian, for your sustaining love and for dreaming this life into being with me. Together with our 2 miraculous daughters, Maya and Acadia, we are building a life even better than we could have imagined. My friends, you may not know that Alana is a distinguished composer and spiritual leader in her own right. One of my dreams for tonight was to sing a new song written specifically for this moment by Alana and our dear friend Abby Pogrebin, a celebrated author and thought leader in the Jewish community. Abby and Alana have never collaborated on a song before, but I just knew they could create magic together, interpreting my favorite verse, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself. Abby and Alana, thank you for this gift. May we learn to love ourselves so that we may love our neighbor, so that we may bring healing to the world.
כמוך, לרעך כמוך, כמוך, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לרעך כמוך, כמוך. How would the world look?
How might our days be lighter? How could the heart feel? How might the lands get wider if we loved like that? Really loved like that. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לרעך כמוך, כמוך. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לרעך כמוך, כמוך. Who could be saved? How might the world be softer? Who could your heart heal? What is the gift you'd offer if we loved like that? Will you love like ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לרעך כמוך, כמוך. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לרעך כמוך, כמוך. How would the world look?
I just want to acknowledge that the lyricist for that piece is here, and she did a beautiful job, Abby. Thank you so much, Abby Program.
There are, in fact, many who we have loved like that, who have made our days brighter, our lenses wider, who have lifted us up, who've comforted us, and who we miss. And so on this Shabbat, we pause to remember those whom we have lost from our own families and our own Temple Israel community and from this world within the last 7 or 30 days, and whose Shiva or Shloshim we are observing. If you're in the midst of observing Shiva or Shloshim, we invite you to rise and share the name of your loved one aloud. As a congregation, we are remembering John Weiss, husband of Sheila, father of Graham and John Jr., stepfather of James and Jonathan. Bradford Nolan Hammer, son of Ronnie, husband of April, father of Dylan, and brother of Blaine, Preston, and Paige of blessed memory. Judith Winstrel, wife of Albert, mother of Nico and Matthew Harriton, and grandmother of Miles, Daisy, and Graham. Lillian Bressman, mother of Beth Cohen, Rabbi Everett Gendler, and the innocent victims of yesterday's terror attack in Israel, Boaz Gol, Yonatan Havakuk, and Oren Ben Yiftach. So too, if you are here this evening observing a yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of a loved one, we invite you to rise and share their name aloud with all of us. As a congregation, we remember Mark Block, Lawrence Blum, Blossom Diamond, Joseph Eisner, Mary Epstein, Stuart Fishman, Jerome Gilman, Martin Glickman, Norman Gover, Alex Hyman, Armin Katz, Ida Krieger, Morris Levine, Max Levinson, Arthur Levitt, Robert Lebo, Consuela Lipton, Blanche Miller, Joseph Pitterman, Julius Reinheimer, Dorothy Satkin, Mark Schwartz, Annabelle Schwartz, David Selib, Max Sosnick, Claire Stone, Sylvia Weiss, and Ruth Wilkes. Zichronam livracha. May we continue to love them, and may their memories always be a blessing. We rise as one congregation. For Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'elam u'la'mei al-maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shmei dekudisha barichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the Holy One of blessing, who creates harmony in the heavens above, bring peace to all of us, to the entire people of Israel, and to all humanity. And we say together.
Amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
As I said at the start, what a special evening. Thank you all for being with us throughout the entirety of this service. All of you who are here and all of you who are joining us via the live stream, you are here as well. We especially send greetings to Cantor Richard Silverman, our Cantor Emeritus, who is recuperating at home. Cantor, we wish you had been able to join us here on the Bima, but we're sending our love and our hugs to you and to your entire family this evening. And now to tomorrow's B'nai Mitzvah. So, Elise and Henry and Claire, please come forward. Claire Silverman, Henry Litton, Elise Heller, please come forward to lead us in Kaddish and in Motzi. Thank you once again to all of you, to all of our clergy who are here, our clergy guests, to our musicians, and to our entire Temple Israel staff, including Lester and Troy and Jesse. At the conclusion of our service, after Kiddush and Motzi, we'll invite everyone to join us in the social hall for Oneg. The clergy will form a little bit of a receiving line there, so you can come and say hello to Cantor Cadrain. I know there's so many of you who want to give her a hug and shake her hand and all of that. So we'll invite you to join us in the social hall afterward.
I want to add one more thing, which
One
is
more thing.
tomorrow night.
Oh, yes, of course.
We have two beautiful B'nai Mitzvah services tomorrow, and after them, we're having a really special concert at 7:30 in person here and on the live stream. We would love, love, love to see you there.
It will star Cantor Cadrain and her wife, Ilana Arian, and some other guests, including Cantor Sheena DeBow, who's with us today, and some other friends, surprise guests, of course,
Yes.
okay, at this concert tomorrow night, 7:30. Okay, page 123.
This teen ensemble will make another appearance.
Oh, yes, thank you to Aubrey and Shay and Lulu, wonderful.
Great. Can you see it?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzah nifilanu. Zikaron l'maaseh b'Bereshit, Kilu Yom Tekilah Lemikra'e Kodesh, Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu Ba'arta, Hiltanu Kidasha, Mikol Ha'amim, V'Shabbat Kodshecha, Be'ahava u'ratzon, Himchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat, L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Thank you. Let's bless. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
You can all bring some challah back to your families and share it around.
Ve'ahavta l'recha